There were no hot air balloons in the air this morning for the Old West Balloon Fest due to unfavorable weather conditions. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, Mother Nature did not cooperate this morning for the first of two scheduled sunrise launches for the Old West Balloon Fest. The mass ascension was slated to begin this morning at the Old Mitchell Airfield. However, the winds this morning were too high for the pilots to safely take off. The silver lining is there is another mass ascension scheduled for Saturday morning. Gates open at 5:30, with the launch slated to begin at 6:15 a.m. A closing night glow is scheduled for Saturday at the Grasslands at Five Rocks Amphitheater and will also feature a drone show. Well, local health officials have confirmed a recent upswing in human cases of West Nile virus within the Panhandle region. Melissa Haas, the environmental health coordinator at Panhandle Public Health District, tells KNB News that there have been a total of 6 reported cases during the current summer season. Among these cases, 4 individuals are residents of Scottsbluff County. Statistics from the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services West Nile virus surveillance webpage indicate a total of only 4 documented human cases across the entire state as of August 2nd, none of which were connected to our geographical area. Both PPHD and Scottsbluff County Health Department continue diligent testing mosquito samples to detect the presence of the virus. We'll have more news right after this.
Swipe right, swipe left, endlessly searching. Finding the perfect match isn't always perfect, but it can be when it comes to finances. Nora found the perfect business loan. Jenny opened her first savings account. Grammy loves her checking account. We found a match for Wilson Farms. The Sandersons were matched with a mortgage. Regardless of your financial situation, Platte Valley Bank will match you with the perfect solution. Find your match at Platte Valley Bank.
Life Care promises us that we are looked after and taken care of properly.
If I didn't have Life Care, I would be probably scared to death about having enough money for when I got older or when I got sick.
Moving in here was an easy decision and in fact a no-brainer. I looked at it as actually buying long-term care insurance and in retrospect a good move.
One of the things that convinces me that we did the right thing is no matter what happens, we will constantly be taken care of.
The whole thing is just vital because you don't have to be worried about what's ahead for you. It's there, it's in black and white, and that's reassuring.
This is home. It has been from the day I moved in.
Welcome back. The public is invited to head out to the North Platte NRD this weekend for a fun-filled day. On Saturday from 9 to 2, they'll be hosting their annual Water Expo. General Manager Scott Shademan says there's a lot going on during this free event.
Of course, we're going to highlight the greenhouse. That's one of the big things that we do here at the North Platte NRD. We're going to have some educational areas where you can learn a little bit about pollinators. You'll be learning a little bit more about your natural resources, irrigation, different things like that. And then there'll also be I think there's 14 different conservation partners and friends of the North Platte NRD that'll be there, that will be demonstrating and having games for the kids.
There will also be a free lunch and treats from the Snowy Bus. The North Platte NRD is located on Airport Road, just south of Western Nebraska Regional Airport. Well, the second annual Goshen County Startup Challenge is underway to help entrepreneurs advance their business ideas. For the second Goshen County Startup Challenge, Brian Young, Assistant Director for the University of Wyoming's Impact 307 in Central Wyoming, once again has partnered with local businesses to create events centered on entrepreneurship. The challenge is a 3-stage process with an application period, finalist selection, and a pitch night, with winners receiving seed money and sometimes an incubator site where they continue to develop their ideas and plans, all free of charge. The challenge application period runs through September 6th, and details can be found online at impact307.org. And several hundred farmers, ranchers, and ag workers took a break from the fields and shops and cut loose a little bit. The annual Farmers' Day Off was held yesterday at Scottsbluff's Riverview Golf Course. The goal? Provide an opportunity for the folks that are the backbone of the Panhandle's economy to hit the links and have a fun day golfing. Crossroad Cooperative's Mike Gibson was greeting golfers at the 8th tee box and explains why he participates in this event.
For me, it's just a chance to come out and talk to the farmers. We normally see them at harvest time at the elevators, but it's good to come out and see them in this setting.
KNEB Promotions Director Kendra Feather joined Gibson and says this event means a lot to the ag community.
They've been doing this for over 40 years, I know, and we've been part of it. KNEB's been part of it. I've been doing it for at least 20 years. They changed locations last year and lost some of their original members, so they honor some of them at the meal, and it's a good way to have the farmers have a great day out, and we just enjoy sponsoring the whole. We get to visit with a lot of people, and it's been a good year.
In addition to a round of golf, participants were treated to a free lunch and some swag thanks to all of the generous sponsors.
Welcome to Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. Whether you're a wine enthusiast, a whiskey sommelier, a tequila connoisseur, or you just love your beer, Kelly's has the best selection of what you're looking for. Family owned and operated since 1946 and right on 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Come see us today at Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. And remember to be a good neighbor. Don't drink and drive. Kelly's Liquor, West 27th Street in Scottsbluff.
Fly United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with Western Nebraska Regional Airport. United is dedicated to going the extra mile for you with daily flights to and from Denver, along with a commitment to excellent service. Reserve your flight today, and remember, United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. Plus, Hertz Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
At FNBO, we've turned up the rate so you can earn more, save more, and do more. Right now, at your nearest branch, you can get 5% APY for 17 months on our special offer CD. Don't wait on a great rate. Give yourself and your savings a great big boost with the Great Big Small Bank.
We're back in central Nebraska in Dawson County for this week's Friday in the Fields, brought to you by FNBO, the Great Big Small Bank. Jacob Roth back with you. I'm talking with Don Beatty, the 150th year farmer in the family, as we're here in Dawson County. And right now we're standing in a cornfield looking at sentinel fertigation is what we're focused on here today, as we've seen nematodes. We've talked about those, and good nematodes is more the important factor of that one. What kind of is this sentinel fertigation, and what kind of got you spurred onto it?
Sentinel Fertigation is a new company. It's founded by Jackson Stanzel. Jackson got his master's at UNL, and through the course of his master's work, he developed a software program to help determine when and how much nitrogen fertilizer to apply to corn based on satellite. So, yeah, this field looks awesome. It's part of a research trial, and I have control of about half of the pivot. They have control, they being Sentinel Fertigation, has control of the pivot on the other half of the ground on how much fertilizer is being applied.
Breaking down further the Sentinel Fertigation, what what is it?
Well, what first step you do is that early in the spring we have to put down what they call canary blocks, which is low nitrogen and high nitrogen blocks. In my case, they're 12 rows wide and about 250 foot long. And typically they put 2 per yield zone in a field. Well, since this is a research plot, We actually have 10 zones, so there's a total of 20 canary blocks out in this field that we put in when we strip tilled. Then they use daily satellite photos to determine, based on the color of those canary blocks, whether or not you need to apply additional nitrogen. On this pivot, like I said, I have control of 5 of the 10 sectors. I've put on an additional 85 pounds of nitrogen. Their sectors have not had any additional nitrogen. So we will now see when we get to harvest how we came out, whether my 85 pounds that I applied was needed or not. And since it's a blind trial, I did not know which sectors were my sectors until last week. And I also have no idea what they're seeing on the satellites. They won't tell me. So I'm going to be as interested as anybody when we get to the open house to find out hopefully some actual details of what they are seeing in my field. Well, and the other thing is just nitrogen management is key looking forward. And that's why the natural resource districts are really high on it. We're starting to see a lot of nitrate contamination of our groundwaters. And so we have to be very cognizant of our nitrogen fertilizer. And this is a system where the corn plants tell you whether or not it needs nitrogen. And with the fertigation system, you can get it on real quick if you need to.
This is just kind of one of the many projects you've got going on. Last time we were here, crops were about ankle high across kind of a majority of fields, not just this one. How have things been looking for you? There's been a little bit of help when it comes to the rain side, but unfortunately sometimes that rain has came with some less than ideal other conditions with hail and wind. And how have you been holding up here in Dawson County?
We're actually doing very well. We've gotten lucky. The last week of July was incredibly hot, as most across Nebraska was. And then since the 1st of August, we've had about 2 inches of rain. It's come very small amounts, 20 hundredths, 30 hundredths at a time. So far, we've dodged all the hail and severe winds, so we haven't got any crop damage. Things look phenomenal.
And the next time we come around, it'll be hard to believe we'll already be into probably September, or not probably, we definitely will be into September. What do you kind of be looking at to be at that standpoint as we're going to be moving well along into this season?
Yeah, at that point, we'll probably be done with the irrigation and just prepping all the fields for harvest at that point in time.
This is Don Beatty here in Dawson County as we're catching up again for this week's edition of Fridays in the Fields, brought to you by FNBO, the Great Big Small Bank. I'm Jacob Roth. You're listening to the Rural Radio Network.
At FNBO, we've turned up the rate so you can earn more, save more, and do more. Right now, at your nearest branch, you can get 5% APY for 17 months on our special offer CD. Don't wait on a great rate. Give yourself and your savings a great big boost with the Great Big Small Bank.
Logos in Gering is the place to get all of your school spirit gear, personalized gifts, and promotional items for your business and employees, and banners for any special event. Logos is also the only place to stop for custom screen printing or embroidery. You can even design it yourself on their interactive website. Stop into Logos today. They'll design it, print it, and have it to you in no time. There's no job too big or small for Logos. That's Logos in Gering.
Let's take a peek at your weekend community calendar, brought to you by Riverstone Bank. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. We're local and we love our community.
You deserve to have a building that will last for generations. With more than 110 years of experience and thousands of satisfied customers, Morton Buildings is the industry leader you can trust. If you're planning for a garage, farm shop, horse barn, storage building for your RV, boat, or collectibles, there's no better time to buy. Contact your local Morton sales office or visit mortonbuildings.com to get started today.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you plan for tomorrow while you enjoy today. Our personalized trust services can help you do just that. You've worked hard to build your legacy, and you want to make sure that gets passed on for generations to come. We offer the professional guidance necessary to ensure that happens, according to your wishes. We pride ourselves in being friendly and professional while offering a highly tailored full line of trust and estate planning services to accommodate you. You belong here.
And finally tonight, there's something new happening this summer in Bayard. BE Farms of Bayard will be kicking off a brand new family-friendly event starting Friday evening. Owner Billy Estes says their new BE Farms Sunflower Festival is a great way to enjoy a family fun evening out during the beauty of summer. He says they have a variety of special mini events planned as well.
We have yoga with the sunflowers, we have a build your own bouquet class, we have a paint, like a paint and sip, but just a paint and beverage, we're going to call it, a non-alcoholic beverage class. I have to classify that here next weekend with Yelena Hanaskaya, the artist in Scottsbluff. So just lots of ways to come out and enjoy a really low-key, calm, last of summer outing before school starts.
The festival will be held Friday through Sunday, and again August 16th through the 20th, with varying hours depending on weeknight versus weekend. There is a general admission fee of $5, which includes admission to the farm grounds, one on-cut sunflower, the jump pad, carpet ball, and the net swing pavilion. Estes says you can also purchase a ticket that includes 3 on-cut sunflowers for $10. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday.